I'm Lara Colley, and I'm a watershed restoration specialist with the McKenzie Watershed Council, and we're part of the Pure Water Partners program. So I live in Vida. We have 7 acres, mostly forested, and it burned. We lost all of our outbuildings. And even just, on my own property, the landscape has really changed.
The fire was on Labor Day, and we were having a nice dinner, and power went off somewhere around 8:30. We checked Facebook to find out what was going on the Blue River Bulletin Board, and saw that there was a fire 20 plus miles upriver from us. But we had a nice candlelit dinner, and everyone went to sleep, and about 1 o'clock in the morning, it was like all hell broke loose.
When the fire started, I was at home and then got a call saying that we were going to open up the school as a shelter, and was getting ready to come up for that. And then a few minutes later was, no, you need to get yourself ready and start packing. So
we heard the wind was crazy, the power went out early in the evening. Then we heard fire trucks going upriver, and then Mike actually had a little cell phone reception still, so he checked social media. Oh, there's some fire up at Dakota's. It's a brush fire. There's 6 trucks there. So we went to bed. It was hot, and we were tired, and we had a long day, and got woken up about an hour and a half later by our cell phones. And we are so grateful for that alert, because there was already flames around. I mean, not right at the house, but there were flames on the ridges and down by our garden, but up in the trees. It wasn't a ground fire. It had blown here. So we grabbed our cats, 2 paintings each of my dad's. He was an artist, and our neighbor, and we left. And we were driving. The road was lined in flames. There were trees falling and branches flying, and yeah, it was horrific. So, and yeah, everything else is gone. So the house my great-grandfather built, my dad's art studio, 50 or more of his paintings, they're all gone. So, yeah.
From what I understood, the fire swept through the ranch at about 11 in the morning. The fire ended up coming along all the forest, up in the hills, especially along the river, came down our front pasture, burned up about a mile of fencing. I don't know why my house is still here. All around the house was burnt. To the downstream of us was my brand new shop. That was burnt. We lost a 13,000 square foot, 100-year-old dairy barn, along with another storage building, all of our antique equipment, and probably about 1,400 of our 1,600 acres of timber was lost. I guess fortunately the fire just touched into our blueberries. We lost some plants, but miraculously the majority of them were okay.
I will always regret sleeping for an hour and a half instead of packing the car with all my dad's paintings and my husband's microscopes and my books and journals and my mom's journals, and we went to bed. We just thought, that's long enough. There's a river and a highway and there's lots of fire trucks. We were tired, and so no, I will always regret that. Always. So, but no, yeah. Now we have the rest of our life's task ahead of us is to get this growing and get it going again, and leave it in a way that it can be passed on to our children and my sister's children, and yeah. So.
The Pure Water Partners and EWEB, we're helping with planting to kind of restore the riparian forests and return shade and get root systems established in the ground to stop erosion. Immediately post-fire, we were doing a lot of work with check dams and wattles to kind of stop, debris and things from flowing into the river. There were a lot of building sites right on the water. And now we're starting to work on some fuels reduction work, which is going to be really important going forward in the future to help the community be more fire resistant and resilient.
What we're trying to do is just continue working with Pure Water Partners and EWEB to make sure that we have a place that's safe for students, and want to make sure that we're limiting the number of fuels that we have on campus in order to prevent things like this from reaching the campus in the future.
Right after the fire, they reached out to us and we jumped on it. and doesn't matter apparently what size your property is. We just need to get plants in the ground that are natives, that are going to protect our water sources, provide shade for the river, our fishing. All in all, hopefully it will help with our tourism, which is our main business here, to have our river looking beautiful again.
The Pure Waters program came in early in the spring and did a lot of planting in areas, because I can't plant 5,000 trees by myself. Yeah, and so that's going to be because they have that long-term commitment to keeping the property and the area along the river in a good shape so that it is growing and giving the water, having clean water and not erosion. And it's a marvelous program, I think.
We want to help, and it doesn't cost anything for the landowner. So basically we're providing a service that I think right now, things are so overwhelming right now, just any help with any of that. I know personally, I feel like there's a lot to do post-fire. There was a lot to do before the fire. So yeah, we're here to help people, and people shouldn't hesitate to reach out.